All right, so I'm here today to go over thread repairs for the Onewheel, specifically into the aluminum rails, such as a stripped fender bolt or a top foot pad bolt. I know there's been a lot of different ideas on how to repair the threads properly. A lot of people have been using just a tap to either retap the aluminum threads that are in the rail or using a helicoil. I've seen a few people talk about Time-Serts, but I figured I'd go over what a Time-Sert is, how they work, and why they're the best repair for a damaged thread. So first, a little bit of background on me. With a Time-Sert, I'm a Honda Master Tech, so I use Time-Serts to repair threads in oil pans, differentials, quite often. So this is something that I use on a professional level all the time. So what we have here is a 10-30 seconds Time-Sert kit. Now these kits, this kit I got off of Amazon. It was about $70, and that's about where I would say most people should go to get them if you're going to try to do this yourself. So what this kit comes with, it comes with inserts. Now what these inserts are a carbon steel insert. So what that means is, as it being carbon steel, it's very strong. It is also anti-rust, will not rust if water gets on it. Using a carbon steel insert is going to be much stronger than the factory aluminum rails. The threads on aluminum are going to be weak when we're using a steel bolt in aluminum threads. The threads are of course going to strip out in the rail. Alright, so as you can see, I have this board disassembled a little bit, and I have this screwdriver in here just to hold the wire back for as we repair these threads. But you can see that this bolt, it does go in, but it starts to get crooked. I think it got hit at some point and damaged some threads down in the bottom. So it doesn't need to be repaired necessarily, as you know, there's still some good threads in there to hold the fender on, but I'm just going to repair those for the sake of showing this video and how this is going to work. So I'll go over the actual kit. This is the Time-Sert kit. Once again, it's the 10-30 seconds kit. And so what we have in here, what the kit comes with, step one is going to be to drill the hole out. So this kit comes with a drill bit that's going to be used for step one to make the hole oversized. Second, what you're going to do is we're going to use this tap here, and what this tap does is it taps the threads for the outside of the insert. So this insert's going to screw in kind of like a helicoil, and then your bolt will thread onto the inside threads. So then after you have your threads tapped, you're going to use this, and now this is a countersink. So this countersink you're going to use all the way until it bottoms out on this notch down here. And what that countersink is going to do is it's going to allow the head of this Time-Sert here, the very top of that Time-Sert, is going to allow that Time-Sert to sit below the rail and to sit flush so that there's nothing sticking on the top of the rail. Then it comes with a installer tool, and this is the tool that you use to install the Time-Sert with. Alright, so let's get to business here. So the inserts that the kit comes with are actually too long for the Onewheel. So when you purchase this kit, you are required to get a different insert These inserts are 0.187 of an inch in length, and that's the correct insert size that we're going to be actually using compared to the one that the kit comes with, which is about twice as long. Alright, step one is going to be to drill our hole bigger. Now to use that, we're going to be using the drill bit that comes with the Time-Sert kit and a commercially available T-handle. All of this stuff is going to be done by hand, no power tools involved nor necessary. You just want to make sure that as you drill this hole, you do try to get the hole as straight as you can. This is going to be setting up the angle of your repair and how the bolt is going to thread in once we're all done. And just like that, we have a nice clean hole. Use the countersink tool to countersink inside of this already countersunk hole. The reason we're going to do this is these holes, when the board is new, the bolt is flush with the top of the rail. So by countersinking even further in there for our insert, what we're going to try to do is keep that the same so that if you were to put a bolt back in here, it would actually stay flush with the rail again instead of being stuck up from the top lip of the insert. Show you what that top lip of the insert looks like one more time. See if you can see it there. So to do this, we're just going to, like I said, use this countersink tool. And on the countersink tool, we're going to want to go up to the second notch right here. So basically, we're just going to go until this tool stops pulling material out of the hole. Also, when you are using this tool, you want to try to stay as straight as possible so you get a equal countersink all the way around the hole. This is also going to ensure that the insert goes in flush. All right, I think that's about it. So we have over drilled our hole, we have countersunk our hole. The next step is going to be to tap the hole. Now we're going to be using the tap that comes with the Time-Sert kit with our commercially available T-handle. I'm also going to be using just a little bit of oil, just multi-purpose oil from a hardware store. A few drops on the tap to lubricate as we cut threads into the aluminum. Just a couple of drops on there. Now this is probably the most important step as you are putting this tap in. You want to make sure that you are getting straight, because if you're not straight, your insert is not going to go in straight and it will not be flush and your bolts won't go in straight. So as we start to put this in, we want to make sure that we are going in nice and straight. It's always okay to stop and check. once you get the tap started, it'll pretty much just kind of go in. When you tap the hole also, you want to go all the way down. You don't want to stop when you think you get through. You want to run the tap all the way down. That's the reason that the screwdriver is in this frame. It's holding the wire harness for the battery out of the way so I can go all the way down into this hole like this. Alright, so now that we have our threads tapped, we're going to want to clean some of the oil off of those new threads. We're going to be using Loctite on the insert to help keep the insert in. So we want to make sure that the Loctite has a nice area, nice clean area to lock to. So for this, I'm just going to put a little bit of rubbing alcohol down in there, some isopropyl alcohol. Just clean off that oil that we had in there. You can use any sort of brake cleaner or degreaser cleaner, Simple Green, something of that sort too. Alright, so now for the insert and the installer. So we have our installer and we have our insert. One of the great things about a Time-Sert is that when you install this, I'll show you right here, we're going to screw the insert onto the installer. Now this insert only goes on so far by hand, and it gets pretty tight. And the reason why it gets tight and won't go on any further, you can see it's barely through. The reason it's tight and won't go on any tighter is at the tip of this insert, it's actually shrunken in. So when we install this insert, what happens is as we drive the install tool through the insert, it actually expands the end of the insert. So that helps to keep the insert locked into the rail. So when you go to unscrew your bolt, the insert won't pull out like helicoils do. So using the installer, you want to put a little bit of oil on the threads of the installer because you want the installer to come off of the insert once the insert's installed all the way. So we're going to use this multi-purpose oil again and put just a drop on the tip of our installer tool. Got just a little bit of oil on there. And then we're going to thread our insert on as far as the insert will go onto the installer, like such. Then we're going to take some red high-strength thread locker, and we're going to use just a drop of the thread locker on the tip of we don't want it on the installer, so I'm going to wipe that off. I'm actually going to start over because I don't want to get any Loctite on the installer. See there, got a little bit of Loctite on the installer tool, and we don't want any Loctite on the installer tool. Alright, so we'll start over. Put a drop of oil on our installer tool. Put our insert on. Installer tool. We'll try this one more time. Just a small drop. Just like that. Perfect. Alright. So then we are going to just spin this in. It should thread right into our threads that we installed, that we drilled in there earlier. And as you can see, there it goes. Now, same thing with the tap. It started to get tight right here, but we don't want to start backing it out there. It's not in all the way. We want to make sure that we actually spin it down all the way. And it'll feel a little tight doing this because it's expanding that insert into the aluminum. We want to install the driver all the way down, and it'll get loosened. It'll loosen itself up once it's down this low. It'll loosen itself up because the insert is installed all the way now. So we can pull our driver out. All right, and there you have it. You can see the insert is installed down there, that black piece. You can see that it's nice and flush. That's the reason for the countersinking, is right there. You can see that that is nice and flush around where that insert gets installed. So if you were going to install this, let's say, need to install this insert on the front foot pad bolt, this one up here, you would want that insert to be flush with the rail, otherwise your foot pad would be lifted up. So that's the reason why we use that countersink, to get that nice and flush there. Let's try to put a bolt in there now and see if the bolt is flush. And look at that. Pretty darn good. So that's the reason why we use that countersink tool. And there you have it. There is your Time-Sert thread repair. Please give our 5-3 Onewheel page a like and a follow. Go check us out at 5-3 Onewheel on Instagram. Give us a like and a follow. Catch you next time. Thanks.